Hello, my name is Sibyl Harmony, and I'm a spiritual teacher and an energy healer. And this is a video to help you set the energies for a happy holiday. Whether you're dealing with loss and grief of a family member, you're by yourself, or you're dealing with a dysfunctional family, this video is for you. So, we're going to help you set the energy and talk about all those different scenarios that you may be having in your Thanksgiving holiday. So, first of all, if you're dealing with loss of a loved one, we want you to know. So, I kind of channel the energy, I channel spirit, and this is what my guides are telling me. Um, and they have told me some of these things before, but I'm going to share it for people who are new. Sometimes we need to be reminded of how much gratitude can help us, even when we're feeling sad or alone or lost or not like we don't really want to deal with the holidays, or to set it to be nicer and more fun and relaxed for you and the fam. Okay, so if you're dealing with loss and grief, you should know, we want you to know that your family members are most of the time they will show up, your beloved family members, for all holidays. They're there. It's almost like you could set a place for them, um, put something on dad's favorite chair, his blanket, put their picture up, um, tell everybody about mom's recipe she used to make. They can hear you. Well, they can hear you other days of the week as well, but they're always there. Usually, a lot of family shows up on holidays. And so it's nice to know if you're grieving and missing a family member that they're there. They see you, they hear you, and they want you to have a great holiday, not sitting around feeling, if this is your loving, healthy family members and you had, pretty good relationships with them or great relationships with them, they want you to be happy. Sometimes even dysfunctional family members change once they get over on the other side. And so they want you to be happy. And so um, it's nice to recognize them, to share with other family members. You don't have to go into a whole big thing. And if people don't believe, then we're not here to force anybody into our way of thinking. But just notice if you smell their cooking or you get thoughts of them. That's what they connect with you. If a bird or a butterfly comes close, when I see a lot of butterflies, I know deceased people are around, or that something is beginning or ending. Okay. So that's what butterflies mean to me. I read things symbolically. You might find coins around. You could light a candle, because a candle gives the energy like a white candle. And don't leave it unattended, of course, but it gives the energy that they can connect with. And it's a very kind of a sacred, you can just, say a prayer. I bless you. I love you. And thank you for watching over me while I'm here. And yeah, so it's a beautiful way to connect. Also, if like I said, if you have their picture, an item of theirs, their blanket, a piece of jewelry is a wonderful way to stay connected during the holidays with loved ones. But know that they are there with you, and they really do want you to have a good time. But if you're feeling sadness and grief, it's okay that you're feeling sadness or grief. Um, so your feelings aren't wrong. We don't have to force ourselves to be happy when we're feeling loss and grief. And it may be a time for you to honor your feelings. I remember when I was going through a divorce, I cried every day. I was brokenhearted. And so I was very sad, but I also knew that there was something in me that I wanted to be grateful for everything that I learned in that marriage and that I received, and that I knew that I could really love somebody, and all the lessons, even the painful ones that I learned, I was grateful. So it was a really, because gratitude when everything's great is kind of easy. But I actually like gratitude when things are not good and not easy, because I feel like it's a very powerful tool that we can be grateful and remember them even though we're grieving or missing them. And really, when we let go of any guilt or feelings of loss, we'll actually feel better, which is really what they want for us, because they're only gone temporarily. That I always tell people, the deal here on earth is nobody gets out alive. So actually, they're more alive up there than we are here. So you can be grateful that they're in a good place. Maybe, if it's a dysfunctional family that, is past, we'll talk about the dysfunctional family that's here or being alone, because I've had those holidays and my guides have messages about that as well. So the dysfunctional family member that passed, you may not want to invite them around. It's up to you to set the boundaries. If they were angry or depressed or sick or critical or abusive, you may not want to be connected to them. You probably don't want, like you could put all their things, if you have any things or heirlooms, you could pass them on to younger generations that don't have that same type of relationship that you had, or sell them, give them to someone who needs them. But know that when you're keeping their things, it's like you're connected. They can come in easier. So a dysfunctional deceased family member can make you feel anxious or tired or sick, even the ones that were not so bad, but especially if they haven't crossed over or they're in limbo, they're in between worlds. It can make you not feel well. You might still, even though maybe you made up with a parent or another family member or even a child or a sibling, you may still carry the energy or the wounds of that relationship or whatever they were dealing with. And so in that case, we'll do a little healing after this talk to kind of cut the cords with dysfunctional family members that are on the other side that maybe you don't want to be connected with. Sometimes we feel sad or angry or nervous or ill because we're like, if you're watching this, you're probably an earth angel. You have some abilities maybe you don't recognize, but everyone's thinking and feeling you're alive. Everyone has psychic abilities because everyone's thinks or has feelings or has psychic really means perception. So when even if you don't really believe in this stuff or think like, well, this lady is weird, it's still affecting you, their energy. And it's palpable when you find the cords and cut the cords. So you're always corded to family members, children, even friends with that you have loved, when you've loved them, you're corded with cords of love, cooperation, communication, support. And so that doesn't really go away unless they were so awful you don't want to be corded to them at all. But you can cut these cords. We'll do that. I do that in my private sessions. And so even if you feel like, well, I don't know how to do that, I'll walk you through it. And you may need some assistance if this has been ongoing and there may be something more than just a cord, because dysfunctional people throw beliefs or pictures at you, like, which is a snapshot of an event or a belief in time that's like you're not good enough, or you were bad, or nothing good will come to you. Whatever they say, cancel that. But whatever they said to you, whatever they implied, sometimes people don't say things, but they project onto you their unowned stuff. And so if you have those, it may be a little bit more than just a cord cutting, but the cord cutting will help you, and the kind of letting go of the stuff, okay? Their belongings. Like, I had a good and bad kind of a mix, and most relationships are with both of my parents. My mother was alcoholic, but I forgive her. I believe in her own way she really did love me, even though we fought a lot. I understand a lot more and appreciate her now that I've forgiven her. So really what we want to do is let go of karma with people. We don't want to have karma because if you haven't learned the lesson, so we choose our parents. And like, I was like, what? I chose this. Why would I? Because I had karma. Because as a soul, I was learning a lesson. So everything's about what you're learning here and what you agreed as a soul to learn. So I know that may sound hard, and forgiveness is not saying that what the other person did was okay, but forgiveness is about you freeing yourself so you don't carry that wound. You can be wiser, not wounded. So you're not carrying that around. And then you come back into another life to do it all over again with them or someone like them. So let's not do that. Let's let go of karma. And that is also a specific healing that I do. But just in the fact of you can do it yourself with your intentions, or I'm willing to do this. The way you crack the door open, you've let the light in. It's like, I'm willing to let this person go. Even though what they did was not at all okay, there is divine justice. So people always have to answer for what they have done. And my mother used to go around and say, vengeance is mine. And then I heard, she would say, that's a vengeful God. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. And she wanted to get revenge on people. And that's so old paradigm. It's so broken. I'm like, can we get unbroken, people? Can we just let this crap go? You could drag it around for another 100 years. It's on you. I don't make people do anything, but I know it's hard, but if you ask, maybe help me be willing, because really the forgiveness is for you. And that will take a large chunk of the effect that how they affected you away, because you don't want to be unhappy, make yourself sick and poor and have bad relationships because of what somebody else did to you as a child or even in a past life. A lot of times these things go on and on and on from past life to lifetime. I mean, like, oh my God. Okay. So it's not a judgment. It's just, I'm just putting it out, the information, and your feelings towards them are not wrong. The kind of like the deeper the feeling, the more powerful the healing is for you from that. And in every way, I know that I've been really wounded has come out to be a huge healing for me. And I'm so grateful for that I was able to walk through those really painful relationships and come out on the other side. So it could be an ex. So if you're dealing with a dysfunctional, and we'll talk about setting the energy for a healthy family, because some people have that. But if you're dealing with living people who are dysfunctional, exes that you don't want to be around, parents, if you're feeling like, oh God, I have to do this again with the holidays, or how do I get through this? Is that person going to be drunk? Is there going to be a fight? Whatever. It used to be, my family would, I remember one Christmas, women have perfect pictures. Men, when they're younger, we'll put it nicely, have pictures or beliefs or ideas that they want to populate the planet. I'm putting it nicely. And women typically have perfect pictures. They want the perfect holiday, the perfect hair, the perfect house, the perfect marriage, the perfect kids. And if it puts a lot of pressure on us that isn't unnecessary and can make it really kind of dysfunctional, trying to do everything perfect and all the stress and fixing everything just perfect. I remember at holidays, I would have all the family over. I'd be so stressed out. Didn't even remember anything I said or did. I couldn't even eat. I was just a disaster, a wreck, a nervous wreck, running around waiting on people. And I realized that's the kind of Christmas my mother used to have. When we got older as kids, and my mother used to yell at us and blame Christmas on us. I have to go shopping for you, She had all the presents in the tree and everything, but she was furious. So then when we got older, she'd try to leave the country and go on vacation to escape from Christmas. Some people don't like Christmas. Some people love Christmas. But I remember one Christmas that I went there, and my mother got drunk and passed out. So me and my sisters were cooking the dinner, and my sisters got into a screaming argument about how to mash the potatoes. And they both ended up storming off. So I'm sitting there. My mother's drunk. The kids are hungry. They left. So I just put dinner on the table and tried tried to pretend everything was just fine. Yeah, that was it's like a movie or something. Like those, what was those, Chevy Chase Christmas whatever. That was my family. So anyway, our Stuart, there's a good one. Stuart Smalley saves his family. That was me in all these therapy groups trying to heal myself with a dysfunctional family. Yeah, that was me. I think it was that senator. It was what was his name? Al Franken. Stuart Smalley saves his family. That was a funny movie. If you have that, because we need to laugh at this stuff too, so we don't take everything so freaking serious, because it's crazy. Other people are in countries where they don't even have a home and they're screaming over potatoes, how to mash the potatoes. So, okay. So there are things that you can do when you have a dysfunctional family and you're going to an event, or you feel like somebody is a narcissist. You can bring a crystal. I'll talk to you about positioning yourself. So this is small, but it could fit in your pocket or something. Or you could hold it. You could wear a necklace with a black tourmaline. Black tourmaline, and you could get a little bit bigger. This is a small one, but it'll work. Now, they only work for a couple days because there's a spirit inside of the rock and it gets tired after a while. That is an excellent one if you're going to a family function where there's dysfunction. Citrine, this is a bigger stone. It's probably a little bit too heavy to carry around, but I have a citrine necklace that I'm looking for. That citrine expels negativity. So does black tourmaline. Now, this one doesn't work as well for me, but I do find that it's helpful for a lot of other people. This is senolite. It's ancient sea salt, and it dispels negativity. If you really have a bad situation, these two work great together. And it should only be about $2 to $5, maybe $10 for a bigger tourmaline. Same here with the senolite. Senolite never needs to be cleansed. Your black tourmaline needs to be cleansed out in the sun or with sage or with beautiful, I heard people cleansing them with beautiful music. So that'll help you if you're dealing with a narcissist or a dysfunctional sociopath on Christmas and you still want to go because whatever. You don't have to go. You can set a boundary and you can say no. So that might be your best choice. I pray about it, think about it, maybe talk to some of your friends about it. But ultimately, it's your choice whether you go or not. So when you're at a family function and you're sitting right in front of somebody, energy travels in a straight line, especially if you look that person in the eye. You're hooked in. They throw energy. So when I'm an energy healer, so I see energy. So they throw streamers of energy. Or I'm angry, even if they're not, they're smiling, thinking, something else. You don't sit directly in front of that person. You could sit like, if you have to, the table seating was, place markers. You could turn like this and put your purse or a pillow in front of you. And then if they talk to you, let's go, yeah, I'm doing okay. Don't look them in the eye. It's good if you have one dysfunctional person, if you have other people there, because they'll be distracted by the other people instead of attacking. Usually the more sensitive, higher conscious person is the one who gets attacked because they think that's a weakness and it threatens them that you're sensitive or feeling your feelings or something. And so they know who you are. They may not admit that, but they know. And so to avoid being the target, those are some things that help. If you have to meet people somewhere, take your own car. Say, I'll meet you there. So don't drive the person. Don't go with the person. Put something in between you and them, like a wall or a car or a crystal, something. So I also like wearing silver clothes that reflect out. You can do a meditation before you go and do some deep breathing. When you get home, I would suggest taking a salt bath in a cup or more of salt, and you can put some nice essential oils in there if they're clean, good quality oils. You can put some baking soda in there if you feel like it's really toxic. And so, or at least take a shower and scrub and just let everything go down the drain, because you don't want to carry that energy with you if you had to go to the family dinner. We don't have to go either. You can say, I'm sorry, I won't be there. You can, well, I don't really like making up an excuse that's not truthful, but you also don't want to push people's buttons. So, yeah, just say, I already made plans, or make some other plans, and then something like that, if you have other plans. And so those are some of the things you can do. You can also say prayers and ask that your guides and angels. I'm doing an angel class December 2nd, where we're going to be doing healings and working with angels and ascended masters. And so that I'll have more information in that class about, how to heal yourself and cut cords. But we'll do a little bit, like I said, at the end of this. And so those are some of the things that you can do to make it a beautiful holiday, to remember gratitude, to take really good care of yourself, to breathe, to meditate. And let's also, when we do the healing, set the energy for you so that you can enjoy the day. A lot of times sometimes people have memories about holidays, or they just don't like them, or they're alone. I've spent holidays with me and my dogs, and I kind of felt sorry for myself, but I think it's important, if we do feel sorry for ourselves, not to judge ourselves. A lot of people actually commit suicide on the holidays because we have those perfect pictures, sometimes men do too, about that the holiday is some sort of statement of your life. Well, so this is where I've arrived, or something like that. When it's not, it may be that you want to have a better relationship with yourself. Make yourself a nice little dinner. Treat yourself really well. And sometimes when I find myself alone, I was like, okay, it was time for me to have a better relationship with myself. And it's okay. We don't have to have these social stigmas that it's supposed to be this huge, glorious event. It's just one day. Actually, every day could be a holiday, It's just one day. That's all. And if you're feeling that, I hope you reach out. You're feeling depressed or even suicidal, please reach out for help, because it isn't, well, the one thing I know about that is that I believe that if we kill ourselves over an issue, then we don't get the lesson, and then we may come back and do it again. If you want to learn the lesson, which is what you agreed to learn when you came here to this most difficult school. So I don't want to get really into that here, but let's talk but I just want to say that I've been there, done that, and I know that you can do this, and really treat yourself nicely. Even if you're having mac and cheese and, watching old movies, okay. Give yourself a hug. And if you feel sad, don't judge yourself for feeling sad or stressed or angry. Your feelings aren't wrong. But when you meditate and when you do this work, you recognize that the feelings aren't really who you are. They're just a response to people, places, and things. And when we set our energy, this is what I'm going to be doing in December. I'm going to be doing, probably around the winter solstice, a meditation group, and I might go on live, and where we're setting the energy for our own happiness, our own joy, for our own manifesting by getting in touch with who we really are, not all this, not letting the outside affect us. The people, places, situations, relationships, jobs, money issues, government, politics, all these things that are going on in the world, because the world is really out of balance. And how we bring the world into balance is by bringing ourselves into balance. So remember that when, if you're having a hard time in the holidays, remember that it's honor your feelings, don't judge yourself for your feelings, but also when you get in touch with your happiness really comes, and the love comes from inside of you, that you can set the energy for however you want. And when you do that, and that's usually through meditation, it can be through prayer, it can be through affirmation or getting healings. But when you recognize that for your wounds don't have to make you a victim, don't be wounded, be wiser. And you can set the energy for consciousness. Sometimes when people are going through awakenings and shifts in consciousness like we all are now, they're either having a hard time emotionally, or for some reason they're supposed to be alone, and so that can happen. And so if that happens, you can accept. Acceptance is a great tool. Acceptance doesn't mean we accept abuse. Acceptance means accepting that people and places and things are the way they are, and once we accept it, then it's okay. We are accepting, then it can shift. Because remember, what you resist persists. Okay, so I'm getting into, let's do a little healing. And so you have a crown chakra here on the top of your head. It's an energy center. And if you set this energy center, that it connects up here, up to the your higher self. There's chakras above your head, energy centers. And when you set your energy to be in alignment with your higher self, which knows how to be in peace, joy, and harmony, because it's not your personality, it's your higher self. And so when you set your energy to be in alignment with that, or with devotion or divine timing or compassion or peace or a balance and alignment, set your crown chakra, you unmatch the mass unconsciousness of the family or the planet, and you lift your vibration, and you lift everybody else's. So let's go ahead and do that. And so if you want to sit with your feet on the floor, uncrossed, and I like to start by taking a few deep breaths through the nose, out through the mouth, coming into the belly and your chest, filling your lungs. Good. Don't do this while you're driving. You can put one hand on the upper lung and one hand on the lower belly, and just feel your body, and that'll kind of ground you and say hello to your body. And let's visualize that we're grounding, like we have a grounding cord, and we're grounding into the earth. And say hello to yourself as energy and spirit. And breathe and relax. And you have healing guides and angels you can call on. The energy of love, your higher self, the powerful archangels, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Jesus, Mother Mary, Healing Buddha, whoever you're connected with, Shiva, and ask them to come in and cut any dysfunctional cords in your aura. from any holiday, family events in this life, past life, or current relationships with family. Please cut these cords that connect me to dysfunction, lower energies, and energy that is no longer serving me. And then allow divine light to come in, and you can put a gold light. I like green or yellow or lavender or blue or pink. So drop light onto you could drop clear light, sunlight. I would stay away from white unless it's really bright, black and gray. Not that they're bad or wrong, but they're just not the optimal colors. And just visualize that the angels or guides are dropping in light into your crown chakra. And ask them to kind of vacuum out any lower energies from your aura. Breathe and ground. And call back all your energy from wherever you left it, gave it away, or somebody took it. And let it surround you like a bubble of light, filling every cell in your body. And breathe. I am going to call this a healing. Thank you, guides and angels. And have a grateful, wonderful, peaceful holiday. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. It really helps me when I'm doing these videos. Subscribe and like and share my videos. Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving.